one or two. So if he's there and you got a shot at him, I think you got to take it because he's.
What
not
up, y'all?
gonna be
Flash Beats back, man. Just taking a quick break at work.
What about
Just taking a quick break at work. As I was saying, thinking about these Philadelphia Eagles, man. Listening to one of the few people from this area that kind of know what they're talking about, that are on the airwaves, and that is Ray Dittinger. You know what I mean? Supposedly retired, but somehow keeps making his way back. You know what I mean? Just shows, man, that the lack, how lacking this area is right now in terms of people that can come on and speak about the team. You got the draft coming up, man, and supposedly what had just happened over the last couple of days, you had Howie Roseman that addressed the media, and so and Jeffrey Lurie is supposed to address the media. However, it's something that's private, and they're not going to be able to record it, which I think is crazy. Like, what is he going to drop some secrets or something like that? Like, you know, people have questions, man. They want to know what happened last year, you know, from his perspective. I mean, not that it's going to change anything, man, but seriously, you know, we got the draft coming up. What are the Eagles going to go after? In my personal opinion, I think the Philadelphia Eagles feel like they're pretty much set at offense. You know, unless they're looking to draft maybe Lane Johnson's future replacement. You know, as far as the first round is concerned. But honestly, I believe in the first round, especially if they let, you know, Hasan Reddick go or can't work something out with him, which this boggles my mind that this is an issue. You spending all this money on all these different players and people like that from other places, and you can't find some extra money to give Hasan Reddick. It just blows my mind. I don't even know why this is an issue, man. Like, it's making me question Howie Roseman, you know, from the standpoint of like his priorities. Like, take care of Hasan Reddick, man. That's a boy that you know what you're gonna get from him. You know you're gonna get double-digit sacks. You know you're gonna get some good leadership. You're gonna get some good energy. You know that when it comes to money time, you know, fourth quarter, a big part of what determines football games, you know, for real close games, is fourth quarter quarterback pressure. You know, and Hasan Reddick for us has been one of the best guys I've seen. You know, you talking about in the fourth quarter, like money time, when you need a sack or you need a pressure, Hasan Reddick, like, more often than not, or more often than anyone else we've had, I put it that way, comes through. You know what I mean? And that's what you're letting go. Or that's what you're acting as if, you know, isn't important. You know, you're bringing in this guy Huff. Maybe he the man. I don't know. I don't see a reason to believe that I could just let Hasan Reddick go and just replace him with this guy. And then number two, why not have both of those guys? You know, I don't know. I don't know if it's faith in Nolan Smith. If you had that type of faith in Nolan Smith now, then why didn't you play him more last year, right? So there's a lot of things that just isn't making a lot of sense to me, you know, and I think a lot of fans are feeling the same way. Now, so I think the Eagles in the first round are likely going to go pass rusher. You know, if you read their history, you know, if there's a guy that's there, or cornerback, as Ray Dittinger believes, they're going to go cornerback. I wouldn't have a problem with that, because you cannot, and I repeat, you cannot go into this season with Bradbury and Slay as your starting corners. In particular, James Bradbury, you can't. Now, if it's me, I'm starting Keely Ringo at one of those spots, especially if, you know, if he comes through looking good at camp and looking as good as he did last year, you know, because in the opinion of A.J. Brown, he was like one of the best corners we had. You start Keely in one of those spots, and then you draft the next guy, you know, that's going to start the other spot, man. I don't really want Slay or Bradbury, but if I have to, but Slay can maybe play another year. Bradbury, you absolutely cannot have Bradbury out there. You can't. Bradbury is a guy that, okay, when we face whoever we face, week 1, week 2, he's a guy that they're going to automatically target. So you know exactly how they're going to attack, you know, the defense. If you have Bradbury out there, like, why would you want a guy out there like that? You know what I mean? Now, if you count on him to bounce back, then I think you're gambling. You know, you really out there playing craps, you know, with a season that I think is still a window to do something special. You know, you got A.J. Brown for 2 more years. You still got Devontae Smith on a rookie contract. You got Jalen Hurts signed before his money really kicks in. You're able to sign all these free agents. So right now, you got to look at this as a window to possibly get there, you know, to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? So you can't be playing around, you know, with Reddick. You can't be playing around having Bradbury out there. You just can't do those things. You know what I mean? So that's where my mind is at. With regards to the Philadelphia Eagles, man, I think the offense is going to be fine. You know, the only thing that could possibly be a problem is if the offensive line doesn't hold up. And that wouldn't be consistent with the history of this team, because we're set at the skill positions. These are the best skill positions in the league. No team can boast these skill positions. Maybe Miami can come close. Maybe the 49ers. I don't think so, though. You know, I think the 49ers skill positions are totally overrated, with the exception of, you know, a steroid using McCaffrey, right? But everything else is kind of overrated, man. Kittle's nice, but like Debo and Ayuk, man, you know, they're after the catch guys, man. They're not juking and freaking nobody out, man. They just got a nice offensive coordinator that knows how to scheme people open, man. You know what I mean? Them guys, if they had to count on just their skills to get open, man, they trash to me as far as I'm concerned. But so the Philadelphia Eagles offense is cool. You know, it's the defense. And then on special teams, I would just like a nice dynamic returner, man. A guy that can get you short fields. Like, I don't understand why we don't have a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? But just overall of the defense, okay. You're going to need Jalen Carter and you're going to need Jordan Davis to come through. This is where they got to both have breakout years. You got to really count on that a lot. Nolan Smith, you want to see him take a step forward. I don't know if he's going to get double-digit sacks yet, but you figure anywhere between 7 to 9 sacks for Nolan Smith is good, especially if he can help you against the run, if he can just get a good number of pressures, have a good rating when it comes to pressures. I'm good with that with Nolan Smith. Josh Sweat, all right, bro. Josh, just get me 9 to 10 sacks, bro. Like just give me one of them type seasons. That'll help. I really would like to see Reddick there, but if Reddick is not there, you hope this guy Huff can pick up some of the slack. But overall in all, I still think the defensive line, because you're looking at the talent that you got between these Georgia guys and some of the guys we had before, it's still decent. You know, it will probably never duplicate what we did 2 years ago for our 70 sacks and all of that. Those are anomalies. Those years happen every 10 years, 20 years, right? So you could just be top 10 in sacks. You know what I mean? Have between 45 and 50 sacks for the season. That's decent. You know what I mean? And then be good against the run. You know, linebacking core is going to be way better. I believe this is the part of the defense that has improved the most, though they had the most room to improve. I guess this is between them and the secondary. But you know, you got Nakobe Dean coming back. Hopefully he can stay healthy, man. Like, I mean, knock on wood. I don't know what to say. You know, it's been crazy. But if not, I got Devin White. Devin White is a legit linebacker. I don't care about what people saying last year. No, he's legit. You know what I mean? That's a legit linebacker right there you got. These guys, the guy from New Orleans, I'm looking him up. I think he legit. And then the guy from the 49ers. I mean, you know, whatever. Whatever the case may be, these guys will contribute. You can still grab somebody out of the draft. I think the linebacking core, because more than likely you might only run 2 linebackers anyway. If you got Devin White and Nakobe Dean, I think you pretty good, assuming these guys stay healthy. And then you got the guy from the Saints. I think it's going to be all right. Secondary, I just talked about. You can't go out there with Bradbury and Slay, man. But you got backup young guns that I think you need to try, and then grab somebody out the draft. You got C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Now, the other thing is going to be Sidney Brown. Like, I really need Sidney Brown to come back. He come back. You got him and Gardner-Johnson. I'm good with that. If not, you got Reed Blankenship there to hold it down until Sidney Brown comes back. So you will have Reed and Gardner-Johnson. You know what I mean? They familiar with playing with each other back there before, because Reed used to be Gardner-Johnson's backup. You know what I mean? So it's not like it's not a turnstile back there. It's respectable. You know, so I expect the defense to be better, especially with a better defensive coordinator. You have an experienced defensive coordinator. I think he's not the guy I would have picked, but he can't be worse than what I had last year. You know, between Matt Patricia and Desai. You know what I mean? Not the biggest lover of the scheme, but hey, you know what I'm saying? What you gonna do, man? You got an old head back there who should have seen everything. I just want him to be able to fool a quarterback here and there, man. Just confuse the quarterback for a second, man, and I'll feel pretty good about what's going on, man. So these are my thoughts this morning, man. Stuff just running through my head real quick, man. Just threw that out there real fast. You know what I mean? Go Eagles.